So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So yeah, we got the official info for the new Inu and Neko legends. So we're going to start by looking at Dogstorm, and then we'll look at the Neko. And basically they are very similar. They are like mirrored legends, pretty similar to like King and Queen in that regard. So we can't really talk about everything before we look at both of them, but yeah, let's just get going. As we can say that both of them are Dex units, and that Ino is a superclass fighter, and Neko is super type. So basically, this is like the ultimate combination in terms of damage when it comes to captains. So if you fulfill both their captains' abilities, you get both 5 times attack and super class and super type, and that's like over 6 times damage total if you face a quick opponent. So that's pretty dope, of course. But with that aside, let's get going. So basically, Inu reduces his own CD to max by the start of the quest, reduces crew's CD by 2 turns at the start of the quest, and after 3 turns, or at battle 3, you reduce your own CD by 5 turns. I'll talk a bit more about that after we look at Neko 2, a bit like options you have to make use of that. For 10 turns, you have the following captain ability. Fighter, slasher, striker, and shooter characters get 4 times attack. And strength, dex, and quick characters get a further 1.25 times attack. So a total of 5 times attack if you have both the types and the class. And you greatly boost crew's chance of landing on own time slots. So yeah, very similar to Legend Carrot, and it will keep going like that. But basically you have even more damage as long as your unit has strength, dex, and quick. Moving on, if current HP is 50% or above at start of attack, crew's normal attacks ignore enemy's defensive effects, but cancels all crew's defensive effects. This is actually interesting, and it might sound like it's a pure nerf from Carrot, since Carrot is always, has her piercing abilities available, as long as it's the first. I think Carrot was 12 turns, maybe it was 10 turns as well. But yeah, with Inu and Neko later, you need to be above 50% to get this piercing ability through defensive effects. But this also means that if you drop below 50%, you can also get defensive effects. And this was one of Carrot's weaknesses. So it's kind of interesting that they have some differences at least, because if, say, you run Neko and Inu for a stage 4, then you can pierce defensive stage 4, but then maybe stage 5 has death damage, and you take like a death hit, and you need some damage reduction or like something like that. You can get this as long as you drop below 50% HP. So yeah, it's interesting at least, I think at least. And yeah, after 10 turns have passed, the only thing you keep is the multiplier. You don't get the piercing through defensive effects, and you don't get the higher chance of type orbs. And yeah, the special reduces CD by 2 turns, boost fighter, slasher, striker, and shooter character's attack by 2.5 times attack for 1 turn. And if you land 2 perfect draw strikes, you boost strength, dex, and quick characters or boosts by 2.5 times the next turn. And as you might imagine, Neko mirrors this, so very similar to King and Queen. And yeah, they really want you to go for the strength, dex, and quick, as well as the classes combination. I'll talk a bit more about which I like the most after we look at Neko. But I'll say right away that I think it's Indo, because he just has more options to team build with. But yeah, let's take a look at the chart. And yeah, Inu is fighter and slasher. And rage, critical hit, and berry pen. And yeah, berry pen is still nice, like if you run him as sub or if your captain ability runs out, because otherwise berry pen doesn't do anything, of course. And yeah, we see that his CD is 13 turns, which is honestly a lot higher than I thought it would be after I read their captain ability, but I think it will work out, even if it makes him a bit more hard to use, I'd say. Sailors reduce special reverse by 5 turns. Pretty good with his special. And yeah, superclass is either having Cat Viper on the team or get into the final battle by the 10th turn and you just do big damage to all enemies and reduce fighter, slasher, striker, and shooter characters CD by 1 turn. And fighters become super fighter. I won't really look at the rumble stuff. Just don't have the knowledge for that, and I don't really care either. Inu's supposed to have a support too that boosts Carrot and Wanda at least, and Inu as well, I presume. And I think Inus was buffing attack by 1.75 times depending on the classes, and it's the same classes that he boosts in his captain ability. So very good support, of course. Moving on to Neko, and yeah, most will be the same here. The big difference here is that Neko primarily boosts strength, dex, and quick characters, and if they have other classes, you get up to 5 times attack. So Inu is primarily the classes, Neko is primarily the color, which makes sense since Neko is the super type and Inu is the super class. Otherwise, captain ability is the same, so we won't go over it again. And special is the same, except that they are mirrored, and that Neko does the timer buff instead of the perfect buff. So first you get an orb boost for strength, dex, and quick, and then after 1 turn, you boost fighter, slasher, striker, and shooter attack by 2.5 for 1 turn. So what I think is a bit weird here is that I think that Neko first does color boost and Inu first does class boost, yeah. But at the same time, if you use them together, you're kind of forced to go the strength, dex, and quick route as well as the classes. While if you go Neko, you could primarily go strength, dex, and quick and ignore classes. While with Inu, you could just go for the classes and ignore the colors if you want. And like those that share colors get the extra attack. Those that don't still get the 4 times attack. So Inu can actually do any color as long as they have one of the classes. Which is why I do like Inu more, since Inu will be inherently usable in more content. And like 4 times attack is still fine, like Legend Carrot still works great with just 4 times attack. And now we have another option for that can be used with any color. But of course, if you can use them together, that will be pretty good. But I do want to remind you as well that you just need one of these two to get the piercing ability. So many teams will just opt for one of them as well. I thought we'd talk a bit about their ability to reduce CD by 2 turns at the start of Battle 3. I don't know why this had such bad quality, but we'll just double check the info here. If we look at the super type ability, it's like the same. You have Dogstorm on the team when you get to 10th turn. And you just do big damage to all enemies and use strength, dex, and quick characters CD by 1 turn. So I think I go to Inu instead since he has better quality. Okay, basically. So, both Inu and Neko get their special charge to max at start of turn 1. Very good. But then at the start of Battle 3, you get -5 CD reduction to the own unit. So this basically gives you 2 extra options. If you go with the basic extra option that will always work, this basically lets both Inu and Neko get a pseudo special reverse protection on stage 3 alone. And this will be even more useful for stuff like Kizuna or Treasure Map, since this basically means that they keep their sailor as captain, but only on stage battle 3. So you can use their special to reduce the CD of the crew, for example. So that's pretty cool. Will probably be one of the main uses of this. Another option you have is that you use their special on stage 2. Carry over the buffs to stage 3. And that way when you get to stage 3, you get the CD reduction. So you go down to use it on stage 2. So that means you go back to 13 CD, you go to stage 3, get the CD reduced by 5, but you also get it reduced by 2 for going to stage battle 3. So basically you end up at 6 CD. Then you move on to battle 4, and you will have 4 CD. You can use the superclass special to reduce by 2. And then you have to remember that if you use both Inu and Neko, you have to use one before the other. So the one that is used second will reduce the CD of the other by 2. So basically, by using them both stage 2, and then using the superclass and supertype specials, and moving on normally to stage 4. If I'm not mistaken, one of them should be ready by stage 4. So that actually makes it pretty good. Like, in my head, I thought you had to get to stage 5 for that to work. But I forgot that when you go from stage 2 to stage 3, you get -2 CD just by doing that. So I think it should work, and that's actually pretty cool. It means that you can have 2.5 times attack and war boost on stage 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, I didn't think about that, honestly. That's pretty cool. It makes them a very cool alternative to like King and Queen. King and Queen does something similar, but they also have the chain and boost. But King and Queen are also susceptible to the spear, bind, or captain and such. Inu and Neko really aren't in the same way. And you also, of course, get the barrier piercing ability. And you can boost more classes. So yeah, I'm actually a pretty big fan of this now when I thought about it. Like when I thought about it in my head first, I thought you could get their attack and war boost for stage 3, but not stage 4, and then stage 5. That sounded very weird. But I'm pretty sure now that it works out, so you can actually get it on stage 4 as well. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the math works out like 13 CD. Move on to stage 4, you get 11 CD. One of them will have 9 CD, because like you use one, say you use Inu and then Neko. The Neko will reduce Inu CD by 2 extra. So that when Inu's special is ready faster, he will use his special, reduce CD by 2, and the Neko will also be ready. So basically by stage 3, one of them will be down to 4 CD. Use the superclass special and supertype special. You are down to 2 CD. Move on to stage 4. You get 2 CD reduction more. You are ready again. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that works, and that's pretty cool, honestly. So stage 3, 4, 5, 2.5 times attack and war boost for the classes and colors. So yeah, this will be a very cool speedrun option when you use them in hybrid. This particular strat won't work as well with just Inu and just Neko, because they're special, like you get the same buffs, so it doesn't work as well with that, but it might work well if you team up with other legends. But yeah, I don't have any ideas right now. This is a very I didn't have much time to think this through. I just went through the most important stuff. Personally, I'm pretty excited for this. This will be very fun to play around with. I will not be pulling though, because it's a normal debut. They will be on like every Sugo pretty soon, so you will just get them naturally. Next time I pull will probably be the Treasure Map Sugo, and we'll see if we get the Carrot and Wonder Legend there, which I predicted. Like Neko support is also an ore boost for Strect things quick, so that is also for Carrot, Wonder and Inu. So if we do get a Carrot and Wonder Legend, I'd assume they'd be color affinity focused, since that's the main thing lacking here. Maybe they also can do some terms of conditional damage, maybe some type of chain thing. But yeah, be prepared for that in case it does happen. But yeah, that's all I have to say here. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.